Hi, my name's Rowan King and I'm part of the Aberystwyth Robotics Club. Have you ever watched the TV series Red Dwarf? If you have, you may have seen a small service robot roaming the corridors of the giant city of a spaceship. Usually they are blue in colour, but were originally built out of a bin lid and a table lamp. These are called Scutters. Today I'm going to be talking about building my own Scutters. I have been watching Red Dwarf with my family for a long time, and when I got the opportunity to make my own robot in the robotics club, I decided to make my own Scutter. I knew I would have to do a lot of programming, electronics and 3D designing, which were all skills I wanted to develop, and it sounded like a lot of fun and a challenge. It began by two magician chassis put together with motors on the sides. Eventually, I added sonars so I can let it drive around on its own without bumping into anything. Hopefully. I used Arduino to control the Scutter, and when it sees an object, it will reverse back and turn around and go in a different direction. It does have problems driving on some floors, possibly because of the weight. Then, using Design Spark 3D Designs program, I designed the shell for the body, a dome for the base of the neck, and the head. This was later printed, painted blue and glued together. The glue took a very long time to set and spent a couple of months as a gooey mess, but it's all cleaned up now. I also 3D printed 6 supports to screw onto the chassis to hold the shell in place. 2 parts of the head were printed separately as we needed to make sure I could still access the battery pack, Arduino Nano, LEDs and a speaker. We created a secret compartment to keep the circuit board in, which was designed and cut using a computer program called Eagle. To make sure that we can access the not-so-secret compartment, but still close the gap between the 2 parts, we used magnets. The LEDs are the eyes, and a small speaker plays a tune from one of the episodes, which is a reference to Red Dwarf, and the Red Dwarf theme tune. For the finger mouth bits, we used high density foam to get the shape of a finger, and as the neck I used an old table lamp that we found. A servo was installed in the dome which will allow the neck to turn 90 degrees both ways, but unfortunately we haven't quite got to that yet. I plan to get the servo working at some point, although this will be difficult to do while keeping the neck and the head balanced.
You don't know what you're missing.
I'm sure.
You'll never look back after stroking your robot.
Recently I've started a second Scutter. However, this Scutter is not blue. In one of the episodes of Dwarf, the characters go to a parallel dimension where girls are boys and boys are girls, and also cats are dogs and dogs are cats. Anyway, there are pink Scutters, and by the end of the episode there are a bunch of baby pink and blue Scutters. I've decided to make my second Scutter not only a pink Scutter, but a baby pink Scutter. This one's called Pinky and the other one's called Perky, which is another reference to Dwarf, which is another reference to a children's TV show. I've used another chassis, but instead of motors, there are servos, and instead of sonars, I've decided that I want a bit more control, and we're using a remote controller, which means that I can make it seem more interactive. The controller connects to an Arduino through Bluetooth. I 3D designed and printed the parts again, and then it was sprayed bright pink. It's much pinker than I expected, but the brighter the better. The Scutter is a little bit chubby, but I think it makes it look more like a baby. The first attempt at printing the body ended up like spaghetti, and the head was a bit too small first time round, and so it wasn't proportional, so I did have to reprint it. Again, for the finger parts of the mouth, I used high density foam left over from the big Scutter. This Scutter also has a disco setting. I used a NeoPixel connected to an Arduino Nano to light up the head with lots of different colours. I haven't quite got the whole thing working yet because the controls aren't quite working properly, but it's getting there, and I will need to make supports to hold the shell over the chassis to keep it balanced. Also, at the moment, it only works when it's connected to a power plug, and the disco setting only works when it's connected to a laptop. It's nearly there. To get to this point, I've developed a lot of skills, including 3D designing, Arduino, programming, practical skills, for example, drilling, cutting, soldering, using Eagle to print circuit boards, and magician chassis.